Good evening, everybody, and welcome back for another Blood, Sweat, and Tears IG Live interview. Tonight we have a special guest. He's born in Hawaii. He trains out of Extreme Couture. He's on a 6-fight win streak in the UFC. Please welcome Dan Ige. Dan headlines Fight Island 2 against Calvin Kattar. Make sure to tune in. Thank you for joining, everybody, now and later. Dan signing in. Will be underway shortly.
What's up, brother?
Hey, how's it going, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Did you get to watch the fights this weekend?
Which fights was that?
That was the Volkov Blades and Emmett Burgos.
Yeah. I watched a few of them. I watched those. It's good fights.
What did you think of that featherweight matchup in Burgos and Emmett?
Yeah, that was a banger. That was a
Yeah.
fun to watch. Two really good guys slinging and banging. It was a close fight. I in my mind, I had it a draw.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to argue with the decision. That was a great performance by Emmett, despite what he had to go through with the knee injury and everything. And but yeah, good on him and good on Burgos, man. A lot of respect to that guy. He took some hard shots and just smiled and chucked it off and kept coming.
He definitely made it a fun fight to watch. Burgos has been a contender on the rise the last couple of years too, so it wasn't anything surprising to say the least.
Yeah. No, he's a stud.
So 3 weeks away, how are you feeling? You're about to headline Fight Island 2 against Calvin Kattar, and one of the biggest MMA stretches in history in my mind, like 2 months straight of UFC.
Yeah. I'm feeling good. It's a huge opportunity to go out there and headline this historic event. Main event versus Calvin Kattar, July 15th. So, I can't be any more pumped and happier. Everything's up for grabs for me right now. So it's a good time.
Definitely. What are your thoughts on facing number 6 ranked fighter in the world in Calvin Kattar, who's also another fighter who's been quickly on the rise the last few years?
No, he's definitely tough. He's a worthy opponent, but I don't put these guys on a pedestal. I just go out there, I focus on what I can do and what I can control. And I believe I have every tool in my arsenal to beat him. I'm strong everywhere. I'm well-rounded. My cardio is good. My mind is stronger than ever, and that's what matters most. So
definitely. So how's your training camp going? Like, how's your life been affected the past couple of months with COVID and everything?
Yeah, it's been a huge change in everything, but throughout all this, the detriments and everything, like there's so much opportunity.
Definitely.
I was in lockdown for 2 months almost, and actually the beginning of March I was out in AKA helping Khabib get ready. He was supposed to fight Tony Ferguson in April before all the craziness happened. So we got locked down, and I was telling my wife, I was like, yeah, I don't really think this is real. I'm gonna go train Monday, and she's like, no, this is serious. Like, I was literally, she like forced me to stay home and like just work out in my garage and do stuff that I don't normally do outside the gym. So in reality, when I got the opportunity to fight Edson, I probably trained 8 days in reality. But besides like 8 days of actual MMA training, but I was doing cross training, running, sprinting, bike riding, doing what I could do without contact. But, and to go out there and get a W over Edson was awesome. And then now here we are facing Calvin Kattar on a 4-week notice. But like I said, my body's healthy. I'm young. I'm confident. Why not, take this opportunity and go get what's mine.
Definitely. I feel like active fighters now, if you're active and winning, like you look at someone like Gilbert Burns, last couple of years, he's been active fighting top guys just like you. So when you do that, it's not at a line that a title shot comes sooner than later. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real. I mean, it's right there. It's up for grabs. I go out and beat Kattar in a dominant fashion. It puts me right there as a contender, maybe 1-2 fights away from a title shot. And so that's my plan, just to go out there and keep winning, keep dominating these guys, and eventually get that title.
Definitely. How was your experience fighting Barbosa with no fans? And do you think that gives you an advantage coming into this fight?
It makes no difference, to be honest.
Yep.
I would prefer to fight with the fans. I like the crowd. I like the energy. I like hearing the boos, the cheers,
Yeah.
walking out and just taking it all in and soaking it all in. Like that's what I get up for every day. And but fighting without the fans, the walkout is different. It's weird. It's just weird. But once you're in there, it's the same thing. That's my dog. Yeah, what's up?
So you've obviously got to rewatch that Barbosa fight, and it was close. Is there anything you could take away from that fight and that whole experience towards this fight against Calvin Kattar?
Um, yeah, I mean, there's a lot I could take away from that. Just my mental ability to be able to push 3 rounds. And now that was on like 2 weeks' notice, and then
Yeah.
just to take all the experience I gained from that fight and then go into this fight, it's just like it gives me a lot of confidence. And um, I wasn't to be. I don't know. I'm just confident to know what I was capable to do on the amount of time I had. Just gives me so much more confidence going into this fight. So, and Barboza is a dangerous dude. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah, we got that W. So we're on to bigger things. And not definitely not underestimating Cater, but I'm gonna give him hell.
Definitely. And it's good because Barbosa's unreal stand-up guy, and I feel like Calvin Kattar is well-rounded, but he's also a great boxer too. So you've been training for stand-up guys the last couple of months, which will go
Yeah.
nicely together.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I got really good training partners, strikers. I got well-rounded guys all around. I'm prepared for anyone. If someone falls out for the title fight July 11th, I'm ready to face anybody. So, um, but that's it. You just have to be well-rounded and be ready for anyone, anywhere, anytime.
Definitely. So how did you get into MMA then?
I started training a little bit in high school.
Okay.
Kind of started out in jiu-jitsu a little bit. My friend's backyard, we were just training. And then I started wrestling in high school, wrestled a few years in college, and then just kind of transitioned from college to MMA, college wrestling to MMA. And yeah, once I got my first finish in my first fight, I finished a guy, actually his same last name, Micah Ige. So it was like a battle for the names, and I finished him in like 30 seconds. It's pretty cool.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So so how long have you been in Extreme Couture then?
Probably 4 years now. A little over
Okay.
4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
it like training with Eric Nixon on a regular basis? I feel like he's a coach that's one of the best in the world that you don't hear about enough in my mind.
Yeah. He's starting to get his recognition. It's coming his way, but just like with everything, it takes time. But he's my mind, in my eyes, and my experience working with him. He's one of the best in the world. I've worked with some of the best coaches, the best big name coaches in the world, and there's not too much different. It all comes down to the relationship you have with your coach and the synergy, and that's the most important part, and just having belief in one another. So he's a great coach, and I'm stoked to have him in my corner.
That's awesome. I was
Yeah.
talking to him the other day, and I was looking to interview him on Friday potentially, but I'm thinking about doing a whole Extreme Couture thing when I launch my podcast next month, probably after your fight or something like that. So maybe
Oh,
potentially
nice.
we could get you on again, and then
Yeah.
that same week get like your coaches on. I want to just like I feel like your camp's one of the best in the world, and it would be good to give it some recognition, you know? So
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And it's coming back. It all goes in cycles. ATT
definitely,
gets the praise. Extreme Couture had the praise. Uh, whatever TriStar gets the praise.
yeah,
Denver, Colorado. Elevation Fight Team. Like it goes in cycles. And
yeah,
it'll come back around. But we just keep our head down and grind and keep getting better.
definitely. So what does it mean to you to wear that Hawaiian flag on your shoulder when you walk down? Like
Uh,
to walk.
Yeah, no, that's it's a huge honor, and it just I carry it with pride. Every time I walk to that cage, it's just like I know I carry Hawaii on my back, and I always will till the day I die. So it's just gives me pride when I walk to the octagon and I carry that thing proudly.
Yeah, Hawaii's a magical place. Like I saw someone on the bottom there. They just said Halewa. It says down there on the bottom. You're from Halewa, aren't you?
Yeah, Haleiwa. Yeah, yeah, that's my family's back there. Everyone's back home. My wife's family, everyone's from Haleiwa. So I miss it, but you gotta sacrifice to
It's true.
get the things you want in this world. Hey.
So for you, who was your favorite fighter growing up? Who was one of the guys that inspired you to want to get into cage fighting?
I obviously kind of watched up or grew up watching like DJ. He was the champ at the time.
Yeah.
Guys like Uriah Faber at the time were dominating. I was watching the smaller guys; they were dominating. Frank Yeager, I was a big fan of Frank Yeager. Now I'm on the same. You know, he's the co-main event of my main event, so that's pretty. It doesn't even seem real. It's crazy, but yeah, it's just I like all those guys, and there's a lot of good up and comers too that you know that I enjoy watching as well. So
Definitely. I think like you said, BJ, like I feel like he's one of those guys now because he's had like a bad run lately, but BJ is still one of the GOATs, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
what BJ did in his early years, you know what I mean? It was like it's unheard of. And even when he left the UFC as a welterweight champ, he went and
yeah,
fought Machida and all these bigger guys, you know what I mean? So
yeah. No, he's a legend, and he always will be. So
always.
yeah, yeah.
So what does it mean to you to be a UFC fighter then? Like you're on the biggest platform in the world. Like right now you're going to headline a card on Yas Island. You know what I mean? Like the whole world knows who Dan is now in a sense.
Yeah. I mean, this is everything in a sense of what I've been working for, of what I dreamed of. Everything I've worked for my entire life, everything I've sacrificed for, and to give me a little spotlight finally, give me a little shine. It's cool, but I just treat it like any other fight, any other match. I'm gonna go in there and just stay composed and do what I always do. But I definitely, the opportunity is cool, and just to kind of finally get that recognition is nice. But you can't let the recognition or the praise or the spotlight take over, because it really just kind of comes down to staying focused and staying grounded, and keeping your eyes on the prize.
Definitely, that's good that you mentioned that because I feel like so many people in life and fighting they get distracted with looking ahead too far as opposed to just staying present and enjoying the process. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. No, it's really important. Gotta stay grounded, stay humble. Yeah.
definitely. So a win here would be 7 in a row in the UFC, and a lot of people think that the winner of this could fight Josh Emmett, but Josh could be going through surgery. So,
Yeah.
do you think a win here could get you a title shot with a great performance?
It really could. There's two other contender fights right now. You got Zabit and Yair probably gonna fight, probably this year sometime, late summer, and then you have Korean Zombie and Ortega. They're gonna fight as well. So it really comes down to, you know, for me, like I'll fight for a title right away.
Yeah, yeah.
But I understand how the UFC works. They're big on who has a good performance. If I go out there and just put a clinic on Kattar, I might earn myself a title shot.
Yeah.
But there's two other fights that kind of come into play and I don't know what's gonna happen in those fights.
It's true.
But those guys don't fight. They're not active. Like Ortega, I don't even know when the last time he's fought. And same with Zombie. I think he fought in June, like the last time we fought on the same card. He headlined.
Yeah.
But it's like these guys, like they're not active. I'm an active fighter. I want to fight. And I'm sure Volkanovski wants to stay active. So, if these guys want to fight and take a year off, we'll be ready to go. But other than that, if I go out there and beat Kattar, I'm going to earn myself a #1 contender spot, guaranteed.
Have you ever trained like being from Hawaii? Have you ever trained with Max at all?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, we used to train together. That was one of the first gyms I used to cross train because when I was living in Hawaii, I was training, at Sunset Beach Jiu-Jitsu. That was my jiu-jitsu place. Max was training down at Gracie Technic, so I would go down there a few times a week to spar and grapple. And then I was also training at MMA Development. That's where I was doing all my MMA training and whatnot. Well, yeah, and then I made the full-time move to Vegas, kind of figured out, it's hard to kind of make it in Hawaii because it's so expensive and,
Definitely.
and the coaching and it's just difficult if you're not getting paid highly. So,
Definitely.
yeah.
I think that should be good for today, Dan.
Yeah.
I would love to get you back on my podcast in a month when it launches, if that'd be cool, though.
Yeah, let's do it for sure.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I'll let you.
Congrats on the podcast. That's cool.
Thanks, man. It's like it's one of those things. Like I'm 35. You know what I mean? I've always been into sports, and I want to continue to cover it. I'm actually thinking. Trying to move to California later this year, but with everything that's going on there, and they might even be in lockdown longer. It might be Vegas where I move to, so I could be training at Extreme Tour this year. So
Awesome. Well, yeah, you have a good home here. So if you make that decision, but good luck, man. Thank you.
thanks a lot. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for coming on today, and fight fans, make sure to tune in and watch Dan Ige fight Calvin Kattar, July 15th. Take care, Dan.
Right on,
Peace.
Jeff. Shoot.